Greetings. I hope you're doing well and thank you for joining our annual meeting. I welcome you into my home as I give this presentation. My name is Neal Beasley and I'm a VNLA board member and the VCH Certification chairperson. It goes without saying how challenging 2020 was to function for all of us. Since March the 18th, I have been working from my home right here, venturing out only for select site visits and while maintaining social distancing and wearing a mask. I've got quite a few hanging right here off of my computer that I just grab and go as I go. I've been able to meet up with a few in the landscape industry and nursery businesses while on my site visits, which was really good. That interaction was really beneficial for me after working out of my home. I look forward to many more of those meetings in the future. We'll get past this pandemic and back to the routines we once had. But until then, I encourage you all to stay safe and stay healthy. As we reflect on 2020, the certification committee has had to make some difficult decisions as it relates to the VCH exam and managing continuing education units. As we embarked on the testing in the month of March, facilities began to close their doors. It wasn't good for us. Testing venues that from community colleges, which we rely on heavily upon for our use, they would not allow us to enter those computer labs because of the CDC recommendations. Hence, we had to cancel a lot of our scheduled testing, and then we had to postpone all the future testing until further notice. Even today, there's uncertainty as to when we might be able to get into those facilities. So you know what that means for testing. We're on hold. As for the CEUs, there were many cancellations of in-person events and shifts to online formats. Earlier this year, the VNLA communicated, because of that, a one-year extension for submitting required CEUs for the year 2020. If a certification credential was set to expire on 12/31 of 2020, December 31st, you should submit a recertification application so that you can receive an updated certificate. We don't want you to miss out on having that certificate for 2021. So go ahead and submit your recertification. However, as that VCH, if you're not required to submit your CEUs or any missing CEUs from 2020 until the end of 2021. So we've given you that one-year extension on CEUs. We believe, the committee believes that this is a one-year extension for the 2020 CEUs is a considerate and equitable decision. For those of you who persevered through 2020, attaining your CEUs, I say thank you. I appreciate your efforts and congratulations. Keep your records in anticipating of submitting this year and keep learning. Projecting forward into 2021, while we were recovering from COVID-19, the VNLA will be working to upgrade its website and membership portal. This will help to improve the submission and tracking of CEUs that we've all been waiting for. This increased correspondence and streamlined actions will make recertification payments even easier. To be most effective and efficient, more and more organizations like our own are transitioning to online transactions and tools. VNLA is no exception, and we're also moving in that direction. To share details about upcoming educational programs, which I really encourage you to do, those are CEU opportunities, and we want to get the word out. VNLA uses social media such as Facebook, and we also email those out as an email type of communication. That's why we need to know about it, because we can get it out there for other people to hear about that. So please, if you have any upcoming events, contact the VNLA so we can share those opportunities. As it relates to testing, the certification committee and others on the board have been working hard to transition that VCH exam process to a statewide system of what's called Pearson test centers. Because of what we've learned in 2021 and the limitations that we've had getting into the community colleges and other labs, computer labs, we want to do this because we think it's going to be extremely beneficial to our testing process. Right now, Pearson is administering testing in their centers while they're still following CDC protocols for safety. As soon as we have details worked out about this, in working with our management vendor, we'll release a statement on how that process works. As a personal user of the Pearson system for various industry testing over my years, I know you will find this incredibly beneficial in terms of accessing the test. Because there are centers located all around the state, from Roanoke to Hampton Roads, Richmond to many locations in the Northern Virginia area, using these centers will greatly expand our reach across the state. They'll also make it a lot easier for you because you'll be able to just log in, set up your time, go take the exam. There'll be proctors already there that work for Pearson, and you'll have your test taken and results almost immediately. We're very excited for that aspect of the testing and can't wait to get that engaged. One thing we know for sure is we may not see a rebound of this pandemic until mid-year. So we're going to continue to monitor the impacts of this pandemic, and we'll make decisions responsibly for your protection and safety, of course. As you well know, a vaccine for all is coming soon. And I find it really interesting, the parallels between this COVID-19 vaccine and our efforts in the horticulture industry when we're caring for plants. Much of the same technologies being used right now in the pandemic and the vaccines, we use understanding genetic tolerances, understanding PCR, which is called molecular photocopying, to detect low levels of infection. We're using that in our plant labs to identify the presence of bacteria and viruses in plants. We've long been dealing with pandemics in the plant community. So I encourage you to keep learning and paying attention to the world around us to better our efforts in preserving and caring for the natural world. The need for continuing education is immense. Technologies are advancing. Our case in point, a video presentation. They're advancing our operations and communications. Scientific studies continue to further our knowledge of disease processes, and techniques are being challenged. New insects are invading our land and new products are being developed. Pruning is an art, but it's also a science, and all horticulturists should master this. We need to be able to more effectively and efficiently diagnose plant diseases, given the onslaught of issues that we deal with. Our urban forests are stressed. So what do we need to know to increase and improve the lifespan of trees? We've been dealing with boxwood blight. You all know that. Lots of reports coming out about limiting and responsibly planting boxwoods. The witch's broom in roses, the effects on knockout roses that we've relied on for summer color for a long time now. The spider lanternfly, which has been recently introduced to the US, that we're dealing with in other states, not quite in Virginia yet, but we possibly could see it. They're attacking all the maples, and I've seen some reports on it, and it's devastating what that insect's doing. We have oak decline, lots of issues with oaks. Um, Things like, do we remove the entire wire basket at the time of planting or just a portion of it? What is biochar? It's, you know, what is it? How does it work? How much do I apply? Can you apply too much? You absolutely can. Those are many of the things that are happening in our industry right now. And I know it's overwhelming, or it can be overwhelming at times, but I encourage you to continue building and refining your knowledge. I thank you for your valuable time and good luck in 2021.